but how will these cues impact our own markets? We have a research team joining in to tell you just that. What is the trade setup looking like, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. This is our Power Prep segment. Good morning, guys. Hormaz, let me come across to you first up. What is the market setup looking like today?
Good morning, Sonal. The market setup does not look very pretty as we speak because the GIFT Nifty is pointing to a significant gap down for our own markets. Now 350 points lower as we speak on the GIFT Nifty. So it promises to be a gap down for our own markets, and that also comes across as an extension of the global market sell-off that we are witnessing, and that does not seem to be abating anytime soon because the Dow futures are down over 350 points. The Nasdaq futures too are down 2.5%, almost 450 points as we speak. And that is also because Friday saw a very sharp sell-off in the US markets, pushing the Nasdaq into correction territory. Now it's down 10% from its peak. The S&P 500 also down 6%, Dow 4% from its peak. So the sell-off extending into the Asian markets as well. The Nikkei is down almost 6% this morning, an extension from Friday's sell-off. Now even on Friday, the Nifty saw a 300-point cut, and that after that we are seeing a 350-point downtick likely in today's session as well, snapping an 8-week gaining streak. What led the losses though? Almost every sectoral index led the losses. Auto, metals, IT, all of them contributed to the downside, barring pharma, which was the only sectoral gainer this morning. Now some key questions that need to be asked. Now it promises to be a gap down, but will the gap down get bought into? There's some important levels that analysts were mentioning around 24,500, but now it promises to be a start below that level. So we'll see if that gets bought into. Now will this impact the overvalued stocks, the low float stocks, particularly in the PSU space? Will that have an impact? And lastly, how will this impact the market sentiment within the IPO markets? Remember, Ola Electric's IPO is open for subscription. Earnings reactions will continue and earnings season itself continues, but the focus today will be on the markets, and the key levels to watch. The GIFT Nifty is promising a gap down start.
Okay, all right. So that is the market setup, but of course a lot of individual stocks which will be on our radar today. Sudarshan is joining us with that list. Good morning, Sudarshan.
Morning. So we'll start with SBI. Headline numbers were slightly below estimates. Slippages have risen due to seasonality factor. NI was up 6%. NIM has fallen 6 bips sequentially and 11 bips year-on-year. Britannia, it was a mixed Q1. Revenue and volume were in line while margin was below estimates. Company says it's well positioned to benefit from consumption growth in rural area. For Titan, it was in line to muted expectations. Margin has come in at 10% versus poll of 9.7%. For jewelry segment, EBIT margin was 20 bips higher at 11.2%. And going forward, festive and wedding season will be key triggers for the company. For Divi's, earnings were a miss, but commentary was positive. Revenue has missed estimates by 3% and margin by 70 bips. But companies positive on opportunity in phase 2 and phase 3 molecules and GLP-1 drug opportunities. LIC Housing, NI's missed estimates by 10% and was down 10% year-on-year, but asset quality was steady. Gross NPAs coming at 3.21% versus 3.3% sequentially. For other companies, some companies which have reported good earnings for Bank of India, Delivery, MedPlus, Amara Raja, Sarda Energy, Appwell, Narayana Hruday and Eveready. And companies which have reported bad or weak earnings were JK Tyres and Sri Renuka Sugars. In the news flow, Gland Pharma USFDA issues 3 observations for Hyderabad facility, but company says it was procedural in nature. For M&M Fin, company has reported July update. Disbursement was up 3%. Collection efficiency has come at 95% versus 96% in the same month last year. And last is PC Jeweler. IDFC First Bank has approved one-time settlement proposal of the company.
Okay, all right. That's a long list. Thank you so much for joining us, Sudarshan, with that. Finally, let's talk about all the cues from the F&O space. Manglam is joining in now. Good morning, Manglam.
Good morning. We're bracing ourselves for a manic Monday. Why do I say that? Well, because the GIFT Nifty is down almost 350 points. We're talking about the Wall Street sell-off that we saw with the Nasdaq entering correction territory. More importantly, the Asian markets are seeing a sharp sell-off as well. How much of that was anticipated already? Well, not to that extent, but remember on Friday, we did see some sell-off on the Nifty as well, down almost 300 points. We had the mid-cap index underperforming for 2 trading sessions, despite the Nifty hitting that 25,000 mark on Thursday itself. The street has begun to factor in some more volatility. On Friday, if you look at the India VIX, that's up around 11.5%, closer to 14 mark. And we also saw the FII sell in cash market and index futures. So 3,300 crore worth selling out there in the cash market, notwithstanding the DII buying of 3,000. The FII sold close to 1,400 crores in index futures as well, with the Nifty futures premium now turning into a discount of 6 points itself. What did they do in index futures? They did not unwind as much longs as they added short. So they added around 20,000 short contracts. And with that, their long exposure has now dropped to 64%. Remember, at the start of the series, it was closer to 66%, with net longs being close to 1.9 lakh contracts. So a lot of the long unwinding short addition has happened ahead of this anticipated sale. Let's see where it goes from here. The important levels to watch out for: 24,700 put writers were pretty active for a premium of 165 rupees, telling you that the first port of call for Nifty would be closer to 24,500 to 24,550. With the GIFT Nifty indicating that sort of cut, do we see lower levels? Well, a lot of people did do some punt buying at that 24,100 put and the 24,000 put itself for a premium of 13 to 18 odd rupees. So the Nifty opens below the 20-day moving average. Let's see whether it goes all the way down to the 50-day moving average. The important level to watch would be the budget day low of 24,074. Two stocks that I'm watching out for in particular: SBI post its muted results, and HDFC Bank, which has been resilient, and we have the trigger of MSCI flows coming in for the next couple of weeks. So let's see whether that sustains the fall on the Nifty Bank, which was a relative outperformer on Friday. AB Capital as well as Chambal Fertilizers have entered F&O Bank. So those are a couple of stocks I'll be watching out for too.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Magnam, for that. And thank you guys for joining us and prepping us up for this crucial trading day ahead.